Today we have the great privilege of interviewing Mr. Saimon 홉킨스, CEO of Trust International based in Singapore. Thank you for taking time to talk with us today. The first question is this. Simon, COVID-19 has caused havoc around the world. Can you tell us, as someone who's living in Singapore now, the situation? Do you see hoarding or any other type of panic activity?
Bruce, good afternoon. 안녕하세요 from here in Singapore. No, we're not really seeing any widespread hoarding or panic here in Singapore, other than the fact that we have entered into a period of extended lockdown. As you've probably heard, the lockdown will extend now through till June the 1st. But overall, things are reasonably calm here in Singapore.
Simon, as a highly successful CEO of Trust International, can you tell us about your business, please? And also, can you tell us how the virus has affected your business so far this year?
Well, Bruce, I'm a professional fund manager, and I've been managing money for over 30 years across developing countries. We invest into over 32 countries around the world. And I think as a consequence of this coronavirus, some of those economies will be hard hit, and some will come through better than others. For the global economy, this is something of a catastrophe. But everything really hinges on how quickly we can try and get back to normal. And I still have high hopes that we're past the worst, and that opportunities for investors are quite attractive now because valuations across equity markets have been significantly hit. And of course, if this proves to be a short-lived phenomenon, that will be a historic buying opportunity for investors.
Which AI sector or products will get the limelight after the pandemic subsides? And could you recommend to Korean investors looking at this program right now highly attractive alternative investments?
Bruce, I think that people will be far more focused now on things that are perceived as absolutely essential to society. We will have shifted to alternative means of commerce, online businesses. Where I feel also there will be a focus is on food-related businesses. Food is an absolute essential. We all have to eat every day. And within our business, we branched into farming, large-scale industrial farming, largely to provide the markets of North Asia from our farming activities in Australia and New Zealand, but only in certain pockets. And one of those is healthcare. We're going to see a great deal more money going into healthcare and therapeutics.
Simon, despite the global pandemic and the dismal numbers coming out of the IMF recently for not only for Korea but for global economies, we're seeing intensive buying of stocks such as Samsung Electronics by Korean retail investors. Do you think it's the right time to buy? And do you have any other stock recommendations that they should take a look at?
It's very important as an investor to be able to buy during these periods of significant equity market weakness. And consequently, retail investors, I believe, should be encouraged to invest at this time because we're certainly, in my view, in my humble opinion, past the worst. We should not assume that this is the end of the world. This is a very attractive investment time. Korea is probably our favorite market globally in terms of the 32 global markets we look at. We see the market as offering considerable value, and the currency is also very attractive to international investors. Well, I think that there are some interesting companies that we've been buying, like Suhyung, which is a manufacturer of gel capsules for what are called nutraceuticals. I mentioned SK Chemical. Again, one would have to look at whether the stock had already run too far. The other one we like is Duzon Bison.
We had a very interesting talk with Mr. Saimon Hopkins, CEO of Trust International based in Singapore. Simon recommends 3 stocks that you may be interested in: Sohung, SK Chemical, and Daejeon Bijeon. That's it today. Thank you again.